In our previous video, we discussed the Soffit rules for upright and pendant sprinklers and explained how these rules can help optimize the cost of fire sprinkler systems. If you haven't seen that video yet, we recommend watching it first to get familiar with the basic concepts before diving into this one. For sidewall sprinklers, in addition to the width of the soffit, its position relative to the sprinkler also affects the installation requirements. Soffits can be grouped into three categories: those located behind the sprinkler, adjacent to the sprinkler, and in front of the sprinkler. The NFPA has established specific requirements for each soffit category, which we'll explore in the remainder of this video. When a sidewall sprinkler is installed on the face of a soffit, the area located behind the sprinkler may remain unprotected. Whether supplemental sprinklers are required depends on the width of the soffit. If the soffit is 8 inches wide or less, no supplemental protection is necessary. If the soffit exceeds 8 inches in width, additional sprinkler protection is required to ensure adequate coverage. The rules for soffits adjacent to sidewall sprinklers closely mirror those for upright and pendant sprinklers. If the soffit is 24 inches wide or less, no additional protection is required. For soffits wider than 24 inches but up to 30 inches, a formula must be used to determine the minimum required distance between the sprinkler and the soffit. When the soffit exceeds 30 inches in width, the beam rule applies. To better understand the sidewall sprinkler requirements for adjacent soffits, it's helpful to watch the video on upright and pendant sprinklers. That video explains the rules using numerous illustrations and examples. You can watch it on our website, YouTube channel, or LinkedIn page. The requirements for providing additional protection to soffits located in front of sidewall sprinklers depend on both the width and depth of the soffit. If both of these values are 24 inches or less, no additional protection is required. However, if either dimension or both exceeds 24 inches, the beam rule must be applied. If the beam rule cannot be met, a supplemental sprinkler is required to ensure adequate coverage. The requirements for soffits in relation to sidewall sprinklers have undergone significant changes across editions of NFPA 13, 13R, and 13D. In this section, we will review key updates introduced between the 2013 and 2025 editions. In the 2013 edition of NFPA 13, no specific allowances were provided for residential and extended coverage sidewall sprinklers with respect to soffits up to 24 inches wide or those wider than 24 inches and up to 30 inches. Similarly, standard spray sidewall sprinklers did not receive these allowances in any edition from 2013 through 2022. From the 2013 through 2019 editions of NFPA 13R and 13D, there were no specific allowances based on soffit width, meaning that only the beam rule applied for adjacent soffits. However, in the 2022 and 2025 editions, the formula A greater than or equal to D minus 8 plus B was introduced for soffits up to 30 inches wide. In NFPA 13R and 13D, the dimensional threshold for soffit depth and width in front of the sprinkler is set at 30 inches rather than 24 inches. This allowance was added starting with the 2019 edition of NFPA 13D and was not included in the 2013 or 2016 editions. Now that we've reviewed the Soffit rule for sidewall sprinklers, let's take a look at how NSVCad implements these requirements. The room measures 22 by 12 feet. The left soffit extends 26 inches from the wall, while the remaining soffits are each 24 inches wide. We'll position the sidewall residential sprinklers in accordance with the 2022 edition of NFPA 13. The necessary data should be entered based on the project specifications. When a soffit is selected for sidewall sprinkler placement, the software automatically measures its width and prompts for a supplemental sprinkler if the dimension exceeds 8 inches. Begin by locating the sidewall sprinkler, then place the pendant sprinkler reserved under the soffit. Let's test the left soffit. In this configuration, the sidewall sprinkler doesn't cover the full room length, leaving the right side unprotected. As a result, at least 3 sprinklers are needed to ensure full coverage. Next, we'll explore an alternative installation by selecting the south wall of the room for sprinkler placement. Moving the sprinkler closer to the left causes the area beneath the soffit to turn red, indicating that the soffit rule is not satisfied. Pressing the Control key opens the More Info window, which displays references for each soffit based on the 2022 edition of NFPA 13. Given the left soffit's width of 26 inches, the software calculates the minimum required distance from the soffit using the appropriate formula. The software also calculates the depth and width of the front soffit. Since both measurements are 24 inches or less, the area beneath remains blue, confirming that the soffit rule has been met. After positioning the first sprinkler at the desired location, the second sprinkler should be placed to cover the remaining unprotected area. For this sprinkler, the software highlights 3 key points. First, it displays CS to indicate that the sprinkler must not be placed closer than the minimum allowable spacing, preventing cold soldering. Second, the area beneath the right soffit remains blue, as its width is 24 inches and the soffit rule allowance is satisfied. Third, the software prohibits placing a sprinkler less than 4 inches from the soffit, ensuring it is not located in a dead air space. As demonstrated in this example, NSVCad enables the user to quickly evaluate multiple layout options, helping save time while ensuring compliance with NFPA requirements. I hope you find this video helpful. You can download the software from nsvsoft.net